It's like when I spit them lyrics, but you leave it to the haters, yo, they hate my got these spirit. It's like with a touch of reality, and in the words of every fear, I can tell my melody. It's like when I spit them lyrics, but if you leave it to the haters, yo.
A national calamity, the crack epidemic and its devastation. The 1980s witnessed the rise of a devastating epidemic that ripped through America's most vulnerable communities: crack cocaine. This potent and highly addictive drug, a cheaper and more accessible form of cocaine, spread like wildfire, leaving devastation in its wake. African American communities, already grappling with poverty and systemic racism, were hit particularly hard. The crack epidemic wasn't just a public health crisis. It was a national calamity that exacerbated existing inequalities and left lasting scars on individuals, families, and entire communities. The influx of crack cocaine led to a surge in crime, violence, and incarceration rates, disproportionately impacting African Americans. Families were torn apart as addiction took hold, leaving children to navigate the trauma of parental incarceration, loss, and broken homes. The crack epidemic wasn't a random tragedy. It was a crisis fueled by a complex interplay of social, economic, and political factors, with its roots deeply embedded in a history of systemic racism and neglect.
Shadows of doubt, the CIA's alleged role in the crisis. Adding another layer of complexity to this tragic chapter is the persistent and deeply troubling allegation of the CIA's involvement in the crack epidemic. Investigative reports like the groundbreaking Dark Alliance series by journalist Gary Webb brought to light disturbing evidence suggesting the CIA's complicity in the drug trade, particularly in the trafficking of cocaine into the United States. While the CIA has denied these allegations, the evidence, including witness testimonies and declassified documents, continues to fuel suspicion and demands for accountability. The alleged involvement of the CIA raises profound questions about the government's role in fueling a crisis that disproportionately devastated Black communities. If true, it represents a shocking betrayal of public trust and a blatant disregard for the lives of countless Americans, particularly African Americans, already struggling against systemic oppression. This dark chapter in American history demands a full and transparent investigation to uncover the truth and hold those responsible accountable for their actions.
Lives torn apart, personal stories of loss and resilience. Behind the statistics and headlines are real people whose lives were irrevocably altered by the crack epidemic. Take, for instance, the story of Lisa, a young mother whose life spiraled into addiction after being introduced to crack cocaine. Her struggle with addiction led to the loss of her children, her home, and her freedom, as she cycled through periods of incarceration and brief moments of sobriety.
Then there's Michael, a promising athlete whose dreams were shattered when he was incarcerated for a drug offense related to crack cocaine. Despite serving his time, Michael continues to face the stigma of his past, struggling to find stable employment and rebuild his life. These are just two of the countless stories of loss, resilience, and the devastating impact of the crack epidemic on individuals and families across America. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder of the human cost of this crisis and the urgent need for healing and restoration.
The crack epidemic didn't just disappear overnight. Its legacy continues to cast a long shadow on African American communities, perpetuating cycles of poverty, incarceration, and social disenfranchisement.
The economic disparities exacerbated by the crisis are evident in the wealth gap, with African Americans possessing significantly less wealth than their white counterparts. This economic disempowerment has far-reaching consequences, impacting everything from educational opportunities to access to healthcare and housing.
The mass incarceration of African Americans during the war on drugs led to the systematic disenfranchisement of millions, denying them the right to vote and participate fully in civic life. The crack epidemic, fueled by systemic racism and neglect, has left an indelible mark on African American communities, demanding a reckoning with the past and a commitment to building a more just and equitable future.
The time has come to address the harms inflicted upon African American communities by the crack epidemic and the systemic inequalities that fueled its devastation. Reparations are not about assigning blame. They are about acknowledging the historical injustices that created the conditions for this crisis to flourish and taking concrete steps to repair the damage.
Reparations could take various forms, from direct financial compensation to investments in education, healthcare, and economic development in communities ravaged by the epidemic. They are an investment in healing, reconciliation, and building a more equitable future for all Americans.
We must support ongoing petitions and advocate for policies that address the root causes of this crisis and provide the resources needed to rebuild lives and communities torn apart by the crack epidemic. Let us answer the call for justice and create a future where all Americans have the opportunity to thrive.
Dear viewers, if you believe in justice and want to support the cause of reparations for African American communities, please sign the UNI petition. Your voice matters and can make a difference. Visit the link in the description to add your signature and support this crucial movement. Thank you for your support. Together, we can advocate for the change needed to heal and rebuild communities affected by the crack epidemic. Let us stand united in our commitment to justice, equality, and a brighter future for all. Your action today can pave the way for a more equitable tomorrow. Thank you for watching and for your unwavering support.
It's like when I spit them lyrics, but you leave it to the haters. Yo, they hate my God, these spirit is like with a touch of reality, and in the words of every fear, I can tell my melody. It's like when I spit them lyrics, but if you leave it to the haters, yo, they hate my God, these spirit is like with a touch of reality, and in the words